Welcome, everyone, to Whimsy Woven Stories. Here, we explore gripping tales of real-life twists. Join our storytelling community.
Hello, everyone. We're back with a new real story. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel for daily content. Now, let's begin the story. I'm Josh, a grade 12 student. My story begins in the pixelated world of Mobile Legends, where I first met her, my girlfriend Mia. She was in grade 11, and our connection felt almost magical. It started as a simple friendship, late-night gaming sessions, trash-talking our rivals, and sharing tips on how to level up. But as the months went by, our chats evolved into something deeper. Video calls became a daily ritual, and I found myself drawn to her laughter and the way her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Eventually, I mustered the courage to court her, and after what felt like a suspenseful eternity, she sweetly said yes. That day was one of the happiest of my life. Our first in-person meeting was like stepping into a dream. We held hands, laughed, and I introduced her to my family, who welcomed her with open arms. She reciprocated, inviting me into her world, introducing me to her parents and friends. Everything seemed perfect. But as the weeks passed, I started to see her true colors, a kaleidoscope that shifted and twisted in ways I hadn't anticipated. Mia had a fiery spirit, but her passion sometimes turned to aggression during our arguments. Whenever we fought, she would hurt me, kicking and punching, as if trying to vent her frustration through physical means. It often brought me to tears. I learned to pinch her back, not out of anger, but to show her that her actions left marks, even if they weren't visible. As a homebody, I cherished quiet evenings, while Mia thrived on social energy and late-night escapades with her friends. I understood her need for freedom, but there was an undercurrent of worry that gnawed at me. One night, it was almost midnight when she received an invitation to hang out with a group of friends, including a guy who gave me a bad vibe. Despite my protests, she climbed over the fence to join them, breaking the fragile trust one had placed in her. The aftermath was brutal. I was angry and heartbroken, but her sincere apologies melted some of my resentment. I wanted to believe her, so I forgave her. Yet, the trust was a fragile thread that continued to unravel. Soon after, she began talking to a guy named Carl, and the feeling of betrayal hit me like a punch to the gut. I cried for hours, overwhelmed by the realization that I was losing her in ways I never imagined. In that moment, I made the hardest decision of my life and broke up with her. It felt like ripping off a Band-Aid, exposing the raw wound beneath. I was devastated, but I knew I had to stand my ground. But just as I thought it was over, she showed up at my door, begging for another chance. "I don't want to lose you," she cried, and I felt my heart clench. How could I say no to someone I loved so fiercely? We got back together, but I was constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for the next betrayal. It came sooner than I expected. Just 2 months later, I caught her entertaining another guy named Ivan. The trust one had rebuilt crumbled in an instant. I felt like I was drowning, gasping for air as the realization hit me. I couldn't keep doing this. I loved her, but her actions were tearing us apart. Breaking up for the second time felt more painful than the first. I had given her my heart, and she had handed it back to me in pieces. Each piece felt heavy, laden with memories of happier times, but also with the sorrow of what had been lost. I wanted to walk away, but love is a tricky thing. It binds you in ways that are hard to explain. The days turned into weeks, and I found myself at a crossroads. I spent hours playing games, hoping the virtual world would drown out the pain of reality. My friends noticed my absence from school events and gatherings, and they began to reach out. "Josh, you need to move on," they would say. But how could I? Every corner of my heart was filled with her. One afternoon, while scrolling through social media, I saw a picture of her with Ivan, smiles plastered across their faces. It felt like a knife twisting in my gut. I closed my laptop, feeling the walls close in around me. But deep down, I knew I needed to reclaim my life. The love I felt for her was still there, but it was tainted with the weight of betrayal. In a moment of clarity, I wrote her a letter, pouring out my heart. I told her about my pain, my love, and the impossible choice I faced. I can't keep chasing someone who doesn't want to be caught, I wrote, my hands trembling as I sealed the envelope. I needed to let go, even if it hurt like hell. When I delivered the letter, I saw her face fall as she read it. I could see the confusion, the pain mirrored in her eyes. But this time, I wouldn't waver. I walked away, feeling a sense of release, like shedding a weight I had carried for too long. Moving on wasn't easy, but I gradually began to rediscover myself. I focused on my studies, reconnected with friends, and found solace in my hobbies. I learned that love doesn't always mean holding on. Sometimes, it's about letting go for the sake of your own heart. In time, I found peace. I still cared for Mia, but I learned that love should never come at the cost of your own well-being. And though I didn't know what the future held, I was ready to embrace it, one day at a time.
Thanks for listening. Share your opinion in comment section and also do like and subscribe to the channel.